Hello, I'm Marie, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about my process and inspiration for my piece celebrating Team Liquid Honda's Spring Championship victory at LCS Finals. It definitely wasn't an easy piece to complete. It took me about 4 months in total working on and off on it since I started thinking about it immediately after Spring Finals, and I worked on it all the way up until the end of the 3-week break in LCS Summer Split. I originally got the idea when I saw this tweet from APA on my timeline about UMT's reaction to winning with the caption, "It wasn't a dream." Overall, this line is pretty cliche, really. You'll probably hear it from a lot of players after they win a tournament, but it was really special to me in that moment, and I ended up using it as a caption for my post too. This was the first championship for Team Liquid since I started watching LCS in 2020, and I really wanted to commemorate that special moment, especially since I watched it live. My first draft happened on my notes app in a hotel room, and I initially had UMT looking back happily at APA as like a spotlight was leading the way towards the LCS trophy. But eventually, as you may have noticed, I switched their positions so that APA would be the one leading UMT towards the trophy. My first actual draft was definitely a mess, but we're just getting the idea across. It's okay. I started blocking out where I wanted the players to be in the scene, and from a compositional and storytelling perspective, I really wanted to reflect their team dynamic, so I had Core and Impact, the team's veterans, in the back, and they're already waiting by the trophy because they've done this before. I've gone in the middle, and APA and UMT in the foreground. The second pass of sketching involved using perspective grid to finally get things looking right. I blocked out the main parts of the stage, side screens, main screen, audience section, and the desk. Since the desks are angled outwards so the audience can feel the players, they were a pain in the ass to figure out, so I couldn't just follow the lines on the grid. After that, I sketched out the poses for the players, along with blocking in approximately where the chairs were going to go. Ironically, when I took reference photos for these poses, I was wearing a FlyQuest t-shirt that I got for free at Spring Fan Fest, so thank you, FlyQuest! I lined the background first since it was the most straightforward, following the perspective grid lines, and then I spent a lot of time staring at Flickr photos and added a bunch of details from around the studio, such as these tables with some Red Bull on them on each side of the stage in the back. We have the lights that go down the side of the stage, lights on the ramps, lights on the walls, sections for the audience, caster area, screen, and I think on this side these are co-streaming booths. I did the lines for the gaming chairs last, since who the fuck wants to draw 9 gaming chairs in perspective? I didn't use a 3D model or anything for these, so it was very fun. Something that I complained about pretty often was finding useful reference photos in the Flickr albums after I had already struggled with drawing out the background. After that, I moved on to sketching the players, and here's a better view of my line work. I think I could have done better on MT, the angle isn't perfect, but I'm not used to drawing people from like the back, so it is what it is. I also remember struggling with AP's hair, because short hair is my enemy. To show off the line work, I'm going to switch over to the larger file, since it was really time consuming trying to draw faces this small and still keep them recognizable as their respective players. I think based on my tweets, it took me like an hour to draw Core's face, but I think I nailed it, so really proud of that. It's kind of a shame that I placed him so far away, since some of these details got printed out on the postcards I got. For coloring, I blocked out the colors of the background first, dividing the main side stage, desk, and the audience area. The first thing that I worked on were the screens and text that was shown on stage. I took screenshots of Flickr photos and stretched them out, and I used a font finder website to find similar fonts, and then I recreated the stage graphics in a separate file. So here I basically traced over a picture of the side screen from a 100 Thieves match, and once I had all the text laid out, I took it to my big file, stretched it out to fit the screens in perspective, one time on both sides, and then I did the same thing with the text that scrolls along the front of the desk and the giant TL Victory text that scrolls along the center of the stage. This graphic setup was referenced from this picture of the championship moment, right before they go to lift the trophy and all the graphics switch to say Spring Champions. The next things I worked on were the LCS trophy and caster desk. I polled my friends to see if they would prefer having the trophy face the viewer or face the audience, and I got a split vote. So I made both versions, but the one where we can see the front of the trophy is the one that I posted and the one that I printed, because nobody cares about the back of the LCS trophy. I also traced over the side lights and the walls to get the pattern correct on both sides, since they aren't symmetrical for some reason. And I followed a similar process to the other pieces to get the right perspective. And here I have a little speed paint of me filling in the audience. I jigsaw puzzled it together for the main portion. I drew a couple of people and then copy pasted them and then, filled in a couple more details. I referenced a couple of people that were actually at the studio for this, though I'm pretty sure that image was from the C9 versus TL lower bracket finals match instead of the flagless one. I added in the backside of the main screen that actually shows the broadcast, and for this all I did was create one tile and then copy paste it to form a row of screens. All the chairs and monitors were rendered individually. While drawing this, I actually learned a lot about the actual setup that the players use, from staring super hard at all the reference photos, so stuff like the lights, the monitors, all those little details, I try to draw them. The biggest thing that I didn't draw would be the cameras, because I'm not that tryhard. On the monitors, I wanted to show the difference in texture, since the bottom band is glossy and the top part is matte. Especially on the TL side, everything is super intentional, so the chairs are turned at slightly different angles, the monitors are at different heights. So here's a little speed paint of me rendering the guys. In the end, I put in a lot of work, but Twitter's algorithm isn't the best art for artists, and I don't have a super big esports audience. Most of my Twitter followers are from my Genshin Impact phase. So likes, maybe not too many, but that's okay. I thought it was pretty funny that an offhand joke that I made about Core turning 30 got more likes than my masterpiece, but that's just how it is. Regardless, I hope everyone who did take the time to really enjoy the art, really liked zooming in and looking at all the little details. Thank you to everyone who came to talk to me at Summer Finals and asked for a postcard, and also thank you to the people who took a postcard when I came up to them and asked. The LCS community is really special to me. Everyone is always super nice, super lovely. Thank you. If CL ever wins again, maybe I'll do this again, but otherwise, esports orgs, my commissions are open. Thank you for watching. Bye!